year is 2022. You're watching TV or YouTube when you're rudely interrupted by an advert. It's just an ad for some mobile game you'll never play. It ends and you continue watching whatever you were watching. The memory of that advert fades from your memory within moments. Let's be honest, all ads today are tame, safe, or even pandering. And because of this, the vast majority of advertisements today just don't stick in our memory. With a few exceptions, of course. Now, this is good for us because who likes ads anyway? I certainly don't. The less time they stick in my brain, the better. But what if I told you that way before most of us were even a twinkle in our father's eye, adverts were really different? And I'm not talking about, everything was a bit crap back then because TV was different. I mean, they had no chill at all. Want to see a child die? Want to see a kid get electrocuted? Want to see how a nuclear bomb will kill you? Want to see more children die? These 60s ads had a thing for people dying, especially children for some reason, as well as alcohol and smoking still being glorified as a good thing for people, which is super strange to see. So basically, this video is going to be going through some of my favourite child traumatizing TV ads from the 60s to the 80s. Well, yes, I wasn't born back then. My dad had these DVDs with these adverts preserved on them, which me and my brother used to watch when we were much younger for some reason. I'm going to be breaking this up into segments, so if you just want to see a certain style of TV advertisement, click on the relevant timestamps below, or if you want to see them all, just keep watching. Without further ado, let's begin with something mildly tame. Now, these types of ads are super common on this DVD. Guess back then there were a lot of kids getting seriously hurt by machines, electricity and household appliances, judging by the sheer amount of, "Hey kids, don't do this obviously dangerous stuff" ads. Take this ad called Charley Says, which covers the risks of being near an oven when your mum's cooking stuff, or the risks of falling into a river and dying, that kind of thing. I'll play a clip here and pray that the BBC still don't own the copyright to these advertisements.
Charlie says that stoves are dangerous to go close to because there are so many hot things there that can hurt you.
I'm not here to say the message portrayed by this advert is not clear. It does a fab job of that. It's just the animation at times gets me. It gives off those uncanny vibes when the kid's looking like a dwarf middle-aged man over being an actual child, and the super jittery animation of Charlie the cat is slightly unsettling at least. Also, why does the kid look like that? Why does he stare into your soul when facing the camera? Don't do that. I like my dreams being nightmare free. And how does he understand the cat? Is the cat real? Or is the kid just sending his cat into dangerous situations while being fully aware of the dangers for some kind of sick fun? I mean, look at him. I'd say so. He almost gets Charlie killed in another advert while playing. Really suspicious the kid manages to avoid all injury whilst his cat takes the brunt. Oh, and for fun, here's a short compilation of my favourite stills from the animations, just to further solidify the fact that the child is Satan's spawn and not an actual child. Now, this first segment was very short. There's a good reason for that. That's because it only goes uphill, or I suppose downhill, in quality from here. If you found that bit creepy, or even the slightest unnerving, the next bit will definitely get you. Nightmare Fuel, or Parents Are Also Stupid, is probably my most haunting advert section. Mainly because these ads were designed to make parents aware that babies are very capable of seriously hurting themselves, and for some reason, 10-year-old me found that really scary. But then again, I think this one particular advert does a great job at basically being a short horror film. You'll understand after watching it, and again, BBC, or whoever aired these ads, don't hurt me, I'm just bringing your nearly 50-year plus advert to the public again. I'd like to emphasise again that this advert quite literally gave me nightmares when I was much younger, so this one it brings back bad memories. So play the clip, you'll understand.
This is every mother's nightmare. You've left your baby for just a moment. While you're gone, the baby starts to rock. The pram tips. Don't let the nightmare come true. If you must leave your baby, always strap him in with care. Never hang bags from the handles. Use a properly fitted shopping basket on your pram or pushchair. Take care. Don't let the nightmare come true.
Now, do you understand why this gave me literal nightmares? That scream at the beginning, which has no lead up to it, it's just like, oh, I'm looking at an advert for a new car or something, to... The rest of the advert's alright. Well, apart from the baby falling into a bag of razors or something. Dead? Maybe. Injured? Oh, 100%. I'd like to also add, why is the mother so far away from the pram anyway? Like, a pram is designed to move your small human from one place to another, so why wouldn't you stay near it? She looks like she's screaming from the other side of the city. I also love the massive change up in animation style for how the baby should be strapped down in the pram. It goes from that green tinge to a much smoother multiple colour style. It's a nice touch, just a bit odd. Side note, what baby is happy about losing their toy? Why do all these animations have creepy things staring at me through the screen? Stop it. Right, okay. After all that, I think I need a break. Let's look at something a little bit more tame. Still creepy, but definitely a bit more cool. Time for a quick break from all the death and scary stuff for a second, because trust me, the last ad in this video is probably one of the more inspirational ones for those modern analog horror videos. So if you live in the UK, I'm sure you've seen the Space Invaders advert. Not the game, mind you. I mean the don't drive up the arse of the car in front of you ad. Well, this is the original version of that advert. Not gonna lie, the only reason we're looking at it is because I love the retro game aesthetic, which at the time was modern games aesthetic, but still, it has a slightly creepy vibe to it. Let's give it a quick watch and you'll see what I mean.
Play Space Invaders on the road and you play a dangerous game. Between every car is a safety space. Invade it at your peril. But remember, the safety space you need is always longer than you think. At 30 miles per hour, it is at least 75 feet. Invade it and put yourself at risk. The vehicle ahead is already in the braking mode. The safety space is shrinking fast, and the game is already lost. Don't be a space invader. Stay out of the safety space. It's one game you can't win, Earthling.
In classic fashion, this ad does a great job of portraying its message, and again, I think it looks really cool. It does have that slight analog horror feel to it, which I'd love to see some more of those in that style. Unless there already is, in which case, tell me in the comments. The creepy vibes are 100% from the audio. The slightly muffled tones of the old crappy recording software and hardware, and as the cars get closer together, the background sounds get faster, which sets off some sort of anxiety within me. By the way, who uses feet anymore? Gross. What does 75 feet even look like? Well, they do say 5 car lengths, but why didn't they just say that in the first place as, something you could visualise in your head? The end card of this ad also has unnecessarily creepy background audio with it being some sort of dull drone. But yeah, that's that advert. Nothing particularly creepy, but it has some vibes to it. Time to move on to the proper creepy stuff, and also what you're probably all here to see, to be honest. You know, there are current world events Part 2 happening right now, and with the risk of nuclear annihilation being mentioned here and there, I think this is an appropriate advert to look at. So, back a few years ago, I'm sure you are aware there was a Cold War, and how close we were all to being atomized. Well, of course that meant there were quite a few public safety ads made to teach you that what you should do in the event of some big boom booms being sent to your front door. Now, there is a solid 5 minutes of footage here, so I'm only going to cover the more interesting bits. But if I do a follow-up video, I'll cover it in more detail. If you want to see that, maybe subscribe. That'll be nice. Okay, let's start with the first part I'll dub, "Oh f***, there's a nuke coming."
A warning may come quite unexpectedly. We will now tell you what to do if a warning sounds when you are at home. And then we will explain what to do if you are out of doors. First, if you are at home. If attack is imminent, you will hear the attack sound like this. So take cover at once. Send your young children to the fallout room, then go quickly and turn off the gas and the electricity at the mains. Close down stoves, damp down fires, shut windows, and draw curtains. Then go to your fallout room and stay there. If the fallout warning sounds are heard, they will be like these. You should now move yourself and your family to the safest area in your fallout room. That is, you should get inside your inner refuge and stay there. After 2 days, the danger from fallout will get less, but don't take any risks by contact with it. The longer you stay in your refuge, the better it will be for you. Listen to your radio. Stay where you are and keep listening to your radio. Now, this is what you should do if you are out of doors when the warning sounds. Take cover at once when you hear the attack sound. If you cannot reach home in 10 minutes, take cover in the nearest building. If there is no building nearby, try to find some solid cover. If there is no solid cover, lie flat in a ditch or a hole and cover your head, face, and hands as fast as you can with some of your clothes. If you hear the fallout warning, seek the nearest and best cover as quickly as you can. But before entering the building or cover, brush or shake off any fallout dust you may have picked up and get rid of it. Change your outer clothing if you can. Stay under cover. When the all clear sounds, like this, it means that you are safe from attack or fallout for the time being, and that you can go out again. But keep listening for further warnings, or to your radio for further advice.
The TDLR of this video is if you have kids, put them in your hallways, plunge your house into darkness, and wait for the radiation to subside. What? You wanted me to make fun of it? Ah well, since you asked, or didn't. Other than the video being clearly out of date with fireplaces, old heating and the thinnest windows I've ever seen, the advice stands. I'm not sure how I feel about having no power and being in the darkest room in my house with no lights or heating, but I'd rather be cold and blind than dead. This is of course meaning a nuclear bomb went off far enough away to not kill you in the blast. So people living near nuclear or military targets, I feel for you. Now the creepy vibes come from the way the information is portrayed. Obviously, yes, A nuclear explosion is already pretty damn scary, but this safety film, with the simple low frame rate animations, fuzzy audio and the Mandela catalogue analog horror style, really makes this safety film stand out as particularly creepy, as well as some of the information being given out as false hope. Like, this poor guy is out in a field or something, has to jump into a ditch and cover himself in whatever he has. Yeah, he ain't gonna make it, is he? Oh, there's also the intro screen to the ad as well. I'm not really sure what it is about the audio that gives off those creepy feels. The nuclear roar or the complete lack of music. Can you imagine just going from normal TV to that? It just seems really jarring. And now we should move on to part 2 of this bit, which I'm gonna call what to do after the bombs have been, and now there's nothing left, and I'm all by myself, and people might start dying that I'm stuck in my hallway with.
After an attack is over and the all clear has been sounded, arrangements will be made as soon as possible to treat any people who are ill or injured. Listen to your radio. Details will be given about what to do, when to do it, and how. If anyone dies while you are kept in your fallout room, move the body to another room in the house. Label the body with name and address, and cover it as tightly as possible in polythene, paper, sheets, or blankets. Tie a second card to the covering. The radio will advise you what to do about taking the body away for burial. If, however, you have had a body in the house for more than 5 days, and if it is safe to go outside, then you should bury the body for the time being in a trench or cover it with earth and mark the spot of the burial.
Well, to be honest, there's not really much the ad really tells you. It basically goes, if you manage to survive this long, listen to your radio, if someone dies, put them in another room, and then if you've been in your house for long enough, bury them in your front garden with a name tag. Obviously, I understand there's not really much you could do in a nuclear blast, or there's not like there's going to be a crematorium or funerals being held after the world has been annihilated. And unlike other safety films about nuclear explosions, there is no hope to humanity at the end. It kind of just goes, yeah, just wait around and we'll see what happens. I suppose it's the most realistic version that you could probably give. I should say, if you'd like to watch all of these adverts in full, and I mean there's like 2 hours of these ads, I'll link the original video in the description, so if you want to go back and look at all of them, feel free to do so. I do have plans of making a second part to this video, so if you really like it, remember, subscribe, like, all that kind of jazz, and then it should be out in the next coming weeks. Well, here we are, end of the video. Now I understand this is quite short, and normally these battle rant videos tend to go on for a bit longer, but there are so many adverts, and there's so much I want to do, that you can't spend too much time going over each thing. I think it would get boring. I'd rather just go through them quickly and just be like, look, dead children, nuclear explosions, don't drive up the arse of other people, babies will kill themselves. And then that's the video. If you want to see a longer version of this video, or a shorter one, or just individual things covered in more detail, give me all the feedback in the world in the comments. I read everything, okay? I promise. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I know it's different. If you liked it, let me know and I'll make some more. Although we do have some more stuff in the pipework already. So less upload gaps, more content. I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloos.